Advancement in the Soviet army can be rapid. Continue to accumulate victories, and the future is yours. One of our convoys is moving through enemy territory. You have been assigned to defend the convoy as they move through the area. Be sure that they reach their destination intact. As a reward for your esteemed service, you have been given a great honor. Our latest advancement in air warfare, the MiG attack aircraft, is at your disposal. Essentially a bomber. Use it to destroy heavy concentrations of Allied armor. With this and your standard complement of Yak aircraft, you should have no problem in keeping the convoy safe.
Welcome back, Commander.
New construction options.
It's a little strange that Kukov calls the MiG attack aircraft a bomber.
Mission saved.
I mean, more accurately, it's more of an attacker plane than anything else. Maybe it's just easier to communicate to kids way back in the day. This is a mission that is actually very unique. You obviously should have noticed the 3 trucks that follow us by now. This is probably the only time this mechanic ever truly comes up. Or at least, like, for its intended purpose. And this is also something that will last us, as one might expect, the entire mission. So, get used to how this looks and plays, really. One of the most important distinctions about this whole escorting mechanic is that the trucks will follow whatever the furthest to the right unit are. Obviously, the airfields are up on a higher level, so the trucks can't actually get there, which makes them quote-unquote immune to the whole escort duty. Essentially, there's, I want to say, like, 2 ways to game the system, and it's not really gaming it, it's more of just, assuring that you're not going to get screwed over by it. And basically, the first method is you take one of your tanks and you leave it to the right. It's not the best option, but it's the one with the less hassle. And is also the one that's most readily available to do. The next method would basically be the same, but relies on you having, say, an infantry, either because one of your tanks blew up, or, well, something else will happen. It's also important to note that we have funds, which is kind of weird. You wouldn't expect us to get money, especially on a mission like this that has no resources. There's no base building as far as we can tell. But hey, we're given engineers. Now it seems weird that the trucks don't go towards the engineers. My guess is that engineers aren't combat units, so they wouldn't be able to offer any quote-unquote protection anyways. Now this I will admit, I always did when I was a kid. There's something about being given engineers and an open construction yard to do whatever you want that's just so alluring. Thankfully for me, the Jeeps didn't decide to murder them in cold blood. Which, I mean, let's face it, they could have done quite easily.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
So, yeah, one of those AA guns was well camouflaged. I honestly didn't see it.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Thankfully, though, we have a lot of money, so we can replace the crappy, quote-unquote, yaks with a,
Unit ready.
you know, more special and better-looking MiG.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
So again, I used to always try to capture this base. It usually goes better than this attempt. There's like a weird, what's the word I'm thinking of? There's like a weird line in the sand that as soon as you cross it, the AI just auto-sells the building.
Report affirmative. Affirmative.
Timer started.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Oh, and you might think it's a little weird that we heard the message twice, and that's mainly because the timer starts either if you capture a building or if you move to that causeway or land bridge.
Report acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, and I figured I'll just capture the service depot. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, on the plus side, I can also repair all my stuff, which is, you know, pretty good.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yeah,
Affirmative.
the game just doesn't want to.
Affirmative.
And it's certainly not because it's a fake or something. That there's only a very select number of fake structures, and Service Depot absolutely isn't one of them.
Comrade.
So I figure, okay, well, let's repair the Service Depot and
Orders.
see if I can repair it that way. And sadly, it just never worked. Honestly, I don't know if this is a bug or something else.
Acknowledged.
It's also a little strange that the infantry don't try to fight back, but whatever.
Waiting orders.
I was a little frustrated by this, especially since all my tanks are super low and I kind of wasted a heal earlier.
Vehicle reported. Awaiting orders. Reporting.
If you're playing this the smart way, like, you kind of don't make the same dumb mistakes with my tanks as I did.
Sir, acknowledged. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agreed. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Very well. Agreed. Yes, sir. Ready and wait. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle report. Acknowledged. Vehicle report. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
10.
Reporting. Waiting orders. Affirmative. Agreed.
Honestly, who doesn't love MiGs?
Agreed. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Ready and wait. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative. Very well. At once. At once. Ready and wait. Ready and wait. Yes, sir. I'm affirmative. Yes, sir. Report. Yes, sir. Ready and wait.
The only reason I can see that there's ever like a timer, I feel, is just to sort of like pressure the player into, you know, making them make mistakes.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, there's no real reason to ever like worry about the time.
Affirmative. Sir, affirmative. Report affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. At once.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
And since you have to get to the left side of the map, there's at least 3 different ways to go there. If you don't have tanks left, you can always go around to the sandbags down below. Then it's just a matter of driving into this one area. If you have the tanks, you can break through the wall, and if you want to take a risk, you can always go up north.
Mission accomplished.